I'm sure we all understand that feeling when we log into TikTok or we go online on Twitter or wherever, even if it's YouTube, and then somebody's talking about our favorite character or a comic that we have read, and they're laughing. But no comic in modern time, in recent years, beyond the 2010s, is more lapped than Secret Wars. People who have not even read the comic lap Doom as the most powerful being in Marvel history, as the most powerful character ever in Marvel, as Secret Wars as this giant battlefield where characters clash together for survival from different universes. And that's not really Secret Wars. You have to read it. Firstly, there are two Secret Wars. The first Secret Wars with the Beyonder. I've forgotten the year the first one was released, but it ties into other Marvel events. It was kind of used to sell toys. It's also an adaptation in the Spider-Man animated series, and I think it ties into the X-Men too. Can't remember. I haven't watched those ones, so that's not my problem. But then we have the second Secret Wars, which is written by Jonathan Hickman. He built this up from his Fantastic Four run, then his Avengers run, which is kind of like an Illuminati run also. And then it also leads into Secret Wars. And the end of the Ultimate Universe, Ultimate Marvel Comics, also leads into Secret Wars. Marvel used this to kill off their Ultimate Universe and also bring in Miles Morales into the main Marvel continuity, 616. But now, let me go back to why this comic is so lapped. People, they post the covers of this comic. They say this comic is is an Avengers book. Secret Wars is not an Avengers comic book. It is about the Fantastic Four, and to be specific, it is about Reed Richards and Doom. It is about the two of them, the clash of their ideals, and Reed Richards beginning or finally understanding that all life is important, that he has to do whatever it takes to protect all life everywhere. If you read the beginning of Jonathan Hickman's run, he meets alternate versions of himself who sacrifice everything to fight off powerful beings, to give solutions to other parts of their universes to work together, but they lose themselves. And I believe at that point, Reed was questioning different things. You have to read Hickman's comic to understand what I'm talking about. And I don't want to go deep into it, so I will not spoil it for whoever is interested in reading. But as the run goes on, Reed begins to question if all life is important as he attempts to save the lives of his world and the people in it, his family included. And also, we go into Hickman's Avengers, where we see Reed do nefarious things. Him and the Illuminati, Tony Stark, Black Panther, Namor, all of them, they do vile things just to protect their own world. They do the unthinkable. So we begin to see Reed question his own values, question his own morality, even question his own belief on life. And the Secret Wars is the accumulation of everything that has been built up in Hickman's Fantastic Four, his Avengers, and finally it is here. Him and Doom have this clash of ideals. It is a Reed Richards and Doom comic at its core. This panel perfectly explains this. There is no great final battle with everybody being destroyed or whatever. It is not like that. You have to read this comic. This comic is so good, but it is so much better when you have read everything built up from Hickman's Fantastic Four to his Avengers to Secret Wars. It makes so much sense because you begin to see how everything played out. You begin to see the reasons behind everything. Of course, Secret Wars also includes a few X-Men, few alternate versions of the X-Men that are there on Battle World. It also includes a few Avengers members, but they play important roles there too. They also include some Inhumans. They also include Thanos, of course, but those characters, they are more like supporting characters, they're more like side characters within the story. They are important, yes, but they are not the core of the story. They are not what moves the story. What moves the story is Reed chasing after Doom and Doom try to kill Reed. That is their whole dynamic. Doom hating Reed and trying to prove that he's better than him above all else. The fact that he had godlike power and still chose to steal Reed's family just so he can piss him off. It just shows how pitiful Doom is if you understand him as a character. So I don't want to go into detail. I don't want to take too much time, but people need to stop posting panels. Or I don't think they'll ever stop lapping. Stop posting panels. Stop posting covers saying this is happening or this is. You need to understand the build up. You need to understand the backstory, the reasons behind these actions that these characters make, and the reasons behind certain panels. Like what of this lapped Peter Parker panel? I found out like it wasn't like it's not even Peter Parker. I haven't read mainline Spider-Man comics. I've only read the entire Ultimate Spider-Man, like from Peter Parker to the end of Miles Morales and leading into Secret Wars. So me finding out this isn't the mainline Peter Parker, I found it so funny because this panel is so lapsed for Peter Parker edits, and it's so. But forgetting all that, I feel like if you love comic books, you need to open them. You need to go online where you can find them. Just read them because it's better than pretending not to know. Because when you pretend to know something, you convince yourself that you do, and you don't bother to check it out. You don't bother to read. You don't bother to understand why these characters are these characters. And then when you go online, you argue like a buffoon. Sometimes people do it to rage bait, but sometimes they do it with knowledge that they have seen from clips or comic talk or whatever, and they end up looking stupid online.